Hey everyone, I thought I'd bring you on for a few minutes and show you what I'm doing. I am starting both kits. I really want to get this one done, but I'm going to do both of them together. That's my preemie boy that I'm going to do, and this is my new baby. It's the Tanner kit, so I don't know if I'll keep his name Tanner, but anyway, couple of different tutorials I kind of use, and I found a third one that she does a layer of flush color first before she does any of the washes. So that's what I'm doing now, is doing this is flush, well, the closest I found to flush 08 is this color that I'm going to be using. And so, because I'm not using Genesis, you gotta and this is vinyl, you gotta have the paint to be able to adhere to the kit. And I think what I did last time is I did a whole wash of the Glass and Tile Medium. It's a matte finish, but I put a little of this in each one of the washes that I do, so it adheres to the vinyl. I didn't do a whole a layer of this on the kit first. I'm going to try just doing it with the paint and see how that comes out. So the first one is going to be well, I call it a flush wash. I'm going to see how this does, and it's supposed to make it more newborn color. And I know he's a preemie, and I'll add a little bit more purpley to it when I get to the purple part and the reddish tone. I'd rather have him more red than purple. But I've done the feet and the head on him. I've mixed this up. You want it really thin. So I think I used too much paint. So I got a lot of water in here. Use distilled water. And I put some of this in there. I usually match this to the paint, how much paint I put in. So I did 3 little drops of this and 3 drops of this. And then I added water to thin it out. So it's really kind of thin, you can see. And it didn't really make a big difference pouncing on to the, you're not going to be able to see because my lighting is horrible. But this one I haven't done. This is a hand. And because I look yellowy down here. But this is kind of like a really light flush color. Really light. See, it's lighter than my hand. He's really light. And I did the feet. And it's still light. But it's a shade darker than what this is. So I'm going to try it and see how that works. I don't know. We'll see. And these little preemies, you have to either use a stick. I usually use one of my big tall brushes to hold it. Or I put it on my pinky because they're hard to hold. So what you do is you put some of this, you just use a wedge sponge and you rip off the top of it so it has a little bit of texture. Let me show you one I ripped off. So it's going to look, it's not smooth underneath. It looks like that. So you put some on there and you just pounce it on. And this is really hard to see because it's not much darker than the arm itself. So you just pounce it on all over and you do it to all the limbs, the head, the arms, the legs. And then you got to let it dry. Make sure you get in between the fingers. And these little dolls are hard to do. the little parts. So you try to do the hand. You pounce it. And then you probably, I don't know if I'm going to or not, you will use a little brush to pounce it in between. And I have a collection of brushes over here. These are I have a whole box full over there, but I know from the last 3 that I did, these are the brushes that I tend to go to, so I just left them out. And that's the ones I'm gonna use. And you can tell it's wet because it'll be kind of shiny. You just put some more on here, and because I'm doing both kits, I made a bunch, so it will go a long way. And I'm impatient with these 2 babies because I want them done now. I want to go change them and put them in his new outfits, and I got a couple for this one. I just can't wait for him to be done. Oh my goodness, I fell in love with him. And I was just going to paint one at a time, but I figured why not just do them both. And then you just let them dry, and it's not going to take long to dry them down here because I'm in the basement and it's cold down here. So it's not going to take very long for these to dry. And if I want to hurry it up, I've got a little fan over there to dry it out. And it'll be fun. So that's the first steps. So I will, this will probably be all I get to do today because I have to take my daughter's friend home. And it's going to be close to dinner time. So, yeah. So this is the first part. I don't know how much of a change. I've never done it this way before. I just thought, well, that's a good idea. Let's try that. Because usually I just start in with the purple wash. The first 3 washes is the purple and the yellow, and then the red wash. That's usually how I start them out. But we will see how this goes. Okay, so I've done all of the little guys, the little babies. And now let's try Tanner. You can see the difference in their heads. Holy cow, see? So I always start on the back of the head. And sometimes where I don't want to wait, this part anyways, I will take a bigger brush and just kind of brush it on like this where I'm going to be and start pouncing from there. And I've already washed the kit, so the first time you get a kit you need to wash it with soap and water and let them dry overnight. And then you can start your thing. This is kind of like a primer, and that's probably what I did with the glass and tile stuff, is I prime it so it'll stick to the kit. And you don't want any bubbles or anything, so you just keep pouncing so it kind of blends into it. And go around the ears, back of the ears. If you really want to get in behind there, then you use your brush and pounce that in there. And don't leave any marks. So you just pounce it all over. And so I start in the back and get to the middle, and then I do to the front part. So to the ears, and then I'll do to the front. So I did the back of the head, this side, and if you look in the light, you can see where it's wet. You can see where I've put it. It kind of looks like little marks, those little marks. And damp out your sponge if it starts getting too much. And add some more, the front. Always mix up your stuff. And mix it up. And then I always get hairs everywhere because I have dogs and they're not allowed down in this area, but it happens. Plus lint, and it's just floating in the air, so you just do your best to not have any. And this baby is going to be so cute. I thought if I painted all day, because you have to let this dry in between, so I try to do really thin layers so it doesn't take as long to do. See, that just took me, what, almost 10 minutes to do his head. And make sure that you pounce out the ears. He's got a defect right there. And if you want to remember the color on the neck, you can put a color down there. And you can't see it very well. Let's see. See that little bit? That's the color I just put on there, and it barely makes a difference in him. So there's his little head. And it makes just a tad bit of a difference, but not major. So I usually do it this way first because it's a lot easier. This is not going to dry quick, but it's going to let me pounce it better because I can see where it's wet when I put it on. And I can pounce it to where I need it. And, excuse me. So cute. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. It said in the description he could wear 0 to 3 months. I guess it's on how full you fill his body. But the other doll that I have is similar to him. And he wears newborn size. So, I don't know. He's going to be between newborn and 0 to 3 months is what he's going to wear. Look at those wrinkles. Oh my gosh. So cute. And I've only painted 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 dolls, I think. 3, 4 dolls. So it's different each time that you paint. And just like any artist in any genre, like if you're coloring or drawing, you are not going to draw it the same again, ever, as you did the first time. It'll be similar, but it's never going to be the same. And it's the same with these kits. When you paint them, it's not going to be the same. Like this one is not going to come out like Tegan, and you know, it's just not, because I paint different. Every time you paint differently, and it comes out differently. So don't be upset with yourself. Oh, I can't get it to look like this one. It's not going to. All you're going to be able to do is improve as you go. And I'm sure as an artist doing these, there's going to be dolls, excuse me, that you don't like. It didn't come out good for me. You know, it doesn't look like this other one I did. It doesn't look like that. So I'm sure 10 dolls from now, I'm probably not going to like these ones. I'm going to like the doll, but I'm not going to like the painting of the doll because you've changed so much, you know. And that's fine. You're supposed to improve and everything, you know, as you go. You're supposed to improve. You just want to make sure you don't have any extra puddling or extra paint anywhere. And fingers especially and toes are like that. So you want to make sure that you get that pounced in, because that's the hardest to get off. You want to make sure you get in between these little parts and inside their palms. And I suggest sitting in a comfortable chair with a pillow or back brace, because I don't know about you, but sometimes I'm always like this. I'm bending over, you know, and that tends to hurt your back after a while. So you want to sit back. Make sure you have good lighting. Like this is good lighting for me because I have my outlet right here. It's not good if I bring it up here because I've got this light, and for some reason it comes over as yellow. It's awful. Alrighty. Here's his other hand. I'll do his leg. He's got such cute little legs. And we will pounce that over. And because right now it's puddling, so we don't want that. We want to pounce it into the vinyl. And when you come across these little rolls, you want to do the same thing. Make sure that you get all the paint out of it. And so you don't have any extras. You don't want that underneath. So, cute, cute, cute. This little guy's going to be adorable. And he's going to be able to wear size 1 shoes. Then that was correct, just by the looks of his feet. And I have some size 1s over there in the nursery that I can try on him if I want to see. See, it's puddling up, so we need to get some of this off. And let's do these little feeties. And it's going to be easy to crease this one because there's only so many on here, so you know where to go. On the preemie dude right here, I've got a ton of creases, and I kind of pick and choose. Like I'll do the big creases, and then the little tiny ones I'll do like a little bit of red in it and stuff because I like the detail of it. It's so cute. Okay, there's that one. One more. And then Tegan, little guy over there will be ready for the next. My next things are, it's going to be the purple wash. And I'll do that in another video. And it'll be way fun. I'm so excited. I wanted to get all the washes done today. So tomorrow I could do like the creasing And it takes a while, depending on how detailed you want to do it. Like I am self-taught, so I try to watch other people, but you know, you don't get to see everything that they do. I wish, and I wish they lived close enough to me where I could just watch them to see, not so much paint along with them, but watch them so I can see their thinking and what they do. And you don't have to be an artist to do this. You just, whatever appeals to you. But you do need to do, I think you do need to know how to blend colors. Like, you could reborn a baby with purple, red, yellow, or brown, and a blue. The primary colors. You can reborn a baby. You just got to know how to mix those colors for what you want on the baby. And if you have a picture of a baby, you'll get the shades of color that you're looking for. But then you got to figure out how to make that color. So that's where I'm coming up. It's kind of hard. So the tutorials that I've watched, one lady does a preemie tutorial and a newborn tutorial, which I really, really like. And she's actually getting ready to do a new one that's going to start, I think it's this month, that I signed up with. And it's Miracle Babies Nursery. She's out of Australia. Annette, if you get a chance, I'll link it down below. If you get a chance to go watch her and see, her tutorials are really, really, really good. And it don't matter if you're using air dry or Genesis, it does not matter, because she shows you the shade of color. Like, she'll tell you the Genesis colors, but then you got to figure out in the acrylics what you're going to find that's similar. So like Flesh 08, I just had to see a color chart of what it looks like, and I just watched her video, and she shows you what the paint looks like, the shade of it. And I just went to the store, I copied it, a picture, and then I went to my store, craft store, and I just found a shade that is similar to it. So this is the one that I found that was similar to the Flesh 08. And I'm a little bit more red colored, but it's a fleshy color. It's a fleshy color. Okay. So that's how I did it, because I didn't have a piece of paper to tell me, okay, you're going to need tan whatever for flesh. I didn't get that. I didn't get lucky with that. So I had to, sorry, lost train of thought for a minute. I gotta wet my brushes. When you're working with acrylic, you need to make sure your brushes, I need a bigger pot to put my brushes in to clean them after you're done. You just gotta soak them in water and clean them off. So anyway, that's the flesh. And anybody can ask me what they need. I think I did a video. I actually have it on my Instagram too. It's tinytoesrebornnursery 7509. Under my page where you can see all my pictures, I think there's a picture of all the paints lined up that I use. What I found worked for the colors. Like this is, and I wrote on the bottle too, this looks like the eyelid purple that Genesis uses, and this is the similar color. So I just marked the bottles what I thought it was. Like this is Flesh 08. I marked the bottle Flesh 08. And same with the blue for veining. This I marked vein blue, but I also have one that I marked up is ultramarine blue. So you'll use these for different things, you know. And you'll use that filio blue and like a green color, and that looks like turquoise, like a turquoise color. And I can't remember what that's for. I think it's for the veins. Is you use the two blues together to mix. And then blushing, I've got the Genesis Red is the color I found that was closest to that. I have Red 02 I've marked. And it's not the Red 02. I got Burnt Umber. It's called Burnt Umber, so I know this is the correct color. And then for blushing, that's just to your liking. Like I got a couple of different pinks here. And it's just a pink, like a pinky color. And you can add for blushing. I got a this color pink and this color pink. And you probably can't see very well. See, I got a light pink and a darker pink. This one is actually called Pink Eraser by Apple Barrel, and this is Folk Art Baby Pink. So, we'll see what happens when I get to that. Now, if you're saving your flesh color, like I know that I'm going to have to use flesh, excuse me, again, but I'll probably just mix it up again, but because you don't use, I mean, this is just a 2-ounce bottle, and you only use maybe 2 to 3 drops at a time when you're painting a kit. So it's not going to be a big deal if I throw this out, but you can get little containers, and I think I have some somewhere where you can dump it in there and mark it, but I just assume start fresh every time, and make sure you have plenty of these. And when you're all done, make sure you rinse out your... I use glass. I got these at Dollar Tree. You get 4 of them for $1. So I bought a bunch of them. And so that's what I use for my mixing of my colors and stuff. So I guess for now, that's it. I could probably do a purple wash on all of them. Let me clean this off. Make sure you have plenty of paper towels. These are potty training mats. I gotta get some more. But you can use paper towels to rinse your brushes off with. Okay, so that's the flesh color. And I'll clean these off because I use these. And I fixed Tegan's eyes. I put lashes on her. She's upstairs. I bought lashes, and I used one and cut it in half to put on there. I wanted her to look like a girl, so I put eyelashes on her, and in some of my videos I said I didn't like her eyebrows that I did. I liked the way they're shaped and what I did with them, but I didn't like the color. So I added some black to it so it looks like a blackish reddish color to match her eyelashes, and I think it came out cute. So let me run upstairs and go get her so I can show you, and then we will do the purple wash. I'll show you what we do with that. So I'll be right back. Okay. Let me turn on the other light over here and get my box light. Turn my chair back around. All right. I don't know if that'll help. It makes it look like she's really dark and she's not. Let me move this over some more. See, I added the lashes and I painted her eyebrows so they're a little bit darker. And hopefully they'll stay on I think they will. I put varnish over them. So it should. But she looks like a little girl now. So cute. So there she is. Thought I'd share her with you. I think she looks good. Let me move this back. Ugh. Okay. Let me put her over in the crib. Put her up there. Because I don't know how to root, so we'll just have to deal with that like that for now till I figure it out. Okay. Don't want to look at me. You want to see what I'm doing. Okay, so I've got this eyelid purple is what it's called. At least that's what she called it. And I put on my little notes equals dark purple because it's a dark purple. So, in her measurements she uses as brushes. So, one brush would be the front of the brush, and then the back of the brush is one brush. And sometimes she'll say half a brush, and then you just use one side of it. So, and she used a sea sponge, which were really hard to find. I actually found mine at Walmart, and they were just hanging on an end thing, and it's where I found them where the glass beads, glass little rocks and stuff like that. That's where I found these. But you can find them in the bath aisle, I guess. But these look like, this one looks like that, and then this side looks like holes. See the holes, and this doesn't. So it depends on how you want the wash to look. And I will do, it's purple. Okay, so I'll add 2 little tiny drops of this stuff, and then I will add, and I think this says 1 brush. So you go 1 brush on each side, and then you put that in the bowl, and you mix it. So you mix that up, put the cap back on it, so you don't have to breathe it. Acrylics have kind of a weird smell to them. So, and then you want a half a teaspoon of distilled water. And mix it up. And acrylic paint gets like little, oh, you probably can't see it, but it gets like little hairs. They look like hairs, but it's not hairs. And you just keep mixing it so it's mixed up really good, because you don't want those little hair things on the doll. So this is going to be the undertone of the skin, because your very last layer of paint is going to be the flesh tone. And then if the purple comes out too much, the red comes out too much, you just put another layer of flesh on it. So let's see. Can you see how, let's see. See how purple that is? This is a light purple, lavender, and this is dark. It's like, let's see if you can see it. It's a dark. See, it's a dark purple. It's a darker purple. And that's what's hard about tutorials, unless you buy a book to actually see the color. But you can see from here, it's a darker purple than this. But it's really transparent. Like if you put it up here, so you can't see it when I put it up there. You know that it's wet, but you can't see it. So, this is the first wash. And like I said, I just put that flesh layer on top just to see what it would do. I don't know. So we will do it. Like, see how it comes out on the hair? But it soaks up. So it's really not that dark. But that's what it looks like. The water looks like. But when you push it up against here, it's really, really translucent. Okay, so same idea. Only you're not going to use this kind of sponge. You can if you want to, I guess. But I want a different texture. Or you could use a mottling. You can do it like that. Which is what I'll do with this one probably. And you just put the color on here. Fill it up. Make sure you don't get too much so it goes everywhere, but you want it so it shows up. And start at the back of the head. See, and this is kind of puddling. It looks like it's puddling, but if you keep going over it, it's not going to look like that. And it's just going to do a purple layer. It's going to have a hint of purple on it. So the purple is going to leave like droplets, I guess. So underneath, when you're painting the flesh layers, it's going to kind of look like veins, kind of, I guess. Kind of like that is what I gather. And I marked my sponges, like this is newborn wash, the newborn wash. And I have a preemie sponges too, but I think I want these to look more newborn colored than preemie. Like, he's going to be a little bit redder than him. And they're both boys. And I think I need some more paint on here. Sorry about that. My daughter came downstairs. So it's going to look like capillaries, kind of. And you're not going to be able to see it on here, but you can kind of see the hint of purple. You just don't want big, huge piles of it, so you want to pounce it out. And I'm going to add something new to these two kits that I have not done before, that I've been trying to figure out how to do, but I can't find a tutorial on it anywhere. So it's a big secret. Is the Malaya, I guess that's how you pronounce it, the little milk ducts on the baby's nose. I searched the web because I couldn't find anything on YouTube, and on the web I found somebody that said how they do it rather, is that they take the flesh color, they take the blushing color first, and with a toothpick, the very, very end of it, they put a little tiny bit of red on the dots where they want it to be, and then they go back with the flesh color and put that on top. And I am going to do that with these two babies. And I think it will be adorable. Let's see. And I am about done with his face. Really cute. You just don't want it to be puddles of purple anywhere. So you want to dab those out. And you can use one of these funky brushes. I don't know what they're called. This is a makeup brush, but it's really a, you know, like that fluffy brush to pounce it out so it's not so. So I wish you could see his head. You can see a little bit. The lighting in here is horrible because the lighting behind me. I probably should put you over on this side. So there's his head. Now he's got a purple tint to him. And I'm going to pause you for a second and I'll be right back. So you can see his head compared to him is kind of purpley colored. So that's what his head looks like now. So now you're going to do all the limbs like that. And it takes, that's why it costs so much for these dolls, especially if they're even more detailed than this. You know, mine aren't huge detailed, and they're just, I guess they would call them the budget babies, where they're a couple $100s, and that's what I sell mine for. Like the two that I have for sale on eBay right now are like $145, I think. And I have a girl and a boy, but they don't have hair. They're baldies, and they're a lot of fun. So hold on just one second. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I finished that one leg. Now I'm doing one hand and trying to get it so there's not a lot of color, you know, with this color, but the sponge puts off like droplets, so you don't want that. You want it to just put the color on, but not droplets. You put the droplets on there and it's going to look like little veins, which sometimes, like with Tegan, I did that because I wanted her to look like she had little tiny veins under her skin, so I left it like that. But this one I don't want to do that because I don't want to do that. And brush out your sponge, you know, stamp it out, get the water out of it. Put more color on. This is the last one for this doll. And that's probably where I'll leave off with you guys. Because there's 3 washes. This is purple one, and a flesh tone yellow has like jaundice looking color yellow, but not really. Just a hint of yellow. And that's next with the flesh color. And that's going to look good. That's going to look really good. And like you said, if it pulls up into the hand, finger area, elbow area, make sure you stamp it out. Okay. And you can see on here, see the bottom is lighter than the top. So, and that's the way it's supposed to be. It's going to change each time that you do it. There. Okay. So, there's a little man. And see, here's his, I don't know if you'll be able to tell. Let me see. Let me move this over. Okay. My seat. Okay, this is the big hand, big one, and here is the little one. Let's see. This is just not working out for me, how to show you guys. There's this little leg, and here's his arm, and they're totally different. You can see a hint of purple on this one and versus this one, but you are going to see purple on it now because I'm going to do his head. Can't get my thing to stay there. Okay. Alright, well maybe I can show you on the head. See, his head is more purpley, and this one does not. I don't know if you can tell or not, but I can, in front of me, you can see the purple layer. That's okay. We are going to add, and hopefully I won't have to add any more purple. That's why I made a bunch, because I'm doing 2 kits. Usually half a teaspoon of water, and these colors is going to be enough to do both these kits. So you want to start in the back of the head, and I want to show you if you can see it. I don't know if you can see the drops. Underneath. And it's going to look like, well, these aren't circles, but they're going to look like, it's going to look like that, but like droplets on his head. Do around his ears, in his ears, pounce around his neck. You just want to make sure there's no bubbles. You want the color, but you don't want bubbles. And that's what I'm trying not to do, is have bubbles. So usually with these, like mottling kind of sponges, if you go on this way, then that way, then this way, then that way, it all looks different. And sorry I'm not talking very much, but you kind of get engulfed on what you're doing, you know. And yeah, so I'm going to finish up doing this guy and get the purple wash on him, and then I'm going to do the yellow. And typically, I don't know, most, depending on what you do, like the Genesis, you've got to let them heat up, you know, between each layer or whatever you're doing. And with air dry, you need to let them dry in between layers. And you can tell, because if it's not dry, it'll be kind of like sticky, kind of sticky-ish. And you don't want to do his face like you do the back of his head here. You know, you don't want those lines on it See, they look, the purple is going to look like capillaries, kind of. At least it does for me. And then you don't want that major purpley color on his face. He's got such a squinched up nose. Oh, he's so cute. I can't wait until he's done. And this guy probably won't be done until, depending on if I can sit down here and paint or not. I'd like to get him done Monday, but he's probably not going to get done until the middle of the week sometime. Life goes on, so you kind of paint in between what you're doing, you know. That's cute. That's going to look cute underneath. Have a little bit of purple on his ears. And looking at it, I can add more where I want it. See, I want a little bit of the purple on his cheeks to look like little veins. And it'll come through like that, barely. Alrighty. His little head's done. And you can see his, it's showing up really dark. It's not that dark, but it is darker. So it looks really good. It looks really good. Okay, on to the arms. Do the arms and then the feet. And then we will be done for the day, I think. So I'll try to come back doing the next layer. But if not, then I'll pick up. I'll try to do a little bit, probably add videos together, like, so it's not so long. Like this one will be part 1. And part 2 will be some of the other colors. Okay. Let's mix that up. All right. And he is just going to be awesome when he is finished. Try to do the inside of his hand, which is hard to do. I want to make sure that you get inside the fingers and pounce it in there. This hand is kind of funky shaped. That's the only thing about this kit that I'm not real fond of, is this one arm. The rest of it I love. I can't wait to snuggle with him. It'll be so fun. And yep. Alrighty, guys. I will finish his other hand and his feet, and I will talk to you all later. This is part 1. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. I'll probably video tomorrow when I do the next 2 layers. And we'll go from there. Okay, we'll see y'all later. Like and subscribe, thumbs up. If you have any questions, comment below, and I will see you all again soon. Bye.